Hello and welcome everybody, and we're beginning today with some major news which dropped last night. Here it is, the Forever Friends in Pokemon Go brings in remote trading. This is something that's been data mined, it's something that's been heavily requested for years, and now it's finally here. Let's quickly look over what is going on with it, because I've got access to it, so I can have a little deep dive into what's going on. And I will quickly say, Jeroen, Francesco, and G47IX and I have done our weekly challenge, and that contributes 7 hearts or 7 points towards what we're going to be talking about. So make sure you get your weekly challenges done, people, with those people you're looking to interact with and potentially remote trade with in the future. So the Forever Friend, it's a 5th tier of friendship, and it's live now in New Zealand, and I believe it's rolling out to Australia, the UK, and possibly Taiwan as well. But the creators do have access to it as well, so we can showcase what's coming along. It's going to go global at a slightly later date because they're doing a slow rollout to make sure that there's no bugs, glitches, and issues like there was with the weekly challenges. To begin with, quite simply, the Forever Friends is going to unlock 2 things for you. First of all is that remote trade, and if you're lucky, friends, that will be a lucky remote trade. You can only do it once with every Forever Friend. However, as you'll see later, the friendship points for Forever Friends reset every 90 days. It's a month and a half's worth of constant interactions. You're also going to be earning an extra 150,000 XP and an increased damage when you are Forever Friends, which is something. The Forever Friends is going to be, as I said, a rolling continuous update. So every time you get to Forever Friends, you do your remote trade, you get the boost, it's going to reset and you can keep earning points. It's not a one-time thing, which I think is honestly brilliant. It's such a welcome system, an update to the friends list, because many of you folks who I've been lucky friends with on the Patreon squad from the years of like literally 5 years time, in the land down under, for example, we've never been able to do a lucky trade. Now we may be able to do so. But the friendship points, you're going to earn up your friendship 1 point per day. That's an interaction, be it a raid, battle, gift opening, etc. However, the weekly challenges will give you 7. So that's where the weekly challenge really helps boost the whole system. You can shortcut it to, I think, technically 45 days. You can really improve the speed of this. The quick thing about the remote trade is there's a few restrictions, as there are with regular trades. However, otherwise, you can just create a remote trade tag in the game, mark the Pokemon that you're willing to trade, and what it's going to do is suggest, I believe, 3 Pokemon to your remote tradable friend, and you can kind of work out a deal that way. Although I'm going to suggest, and this is a tip from myself, if you don't have each other on social media or don't know each other kind of personally, get on Campfire so you can interact with each other through the game that way, so you can actually broker your trades. The remote trade tag will only go live and available once you do access the remote trade, so you have to hit the Forever Friends, the 5th friendship heart first, then you get access to adding these Pokemon to the remote trade tag. The trainer takes and selects 3 of the Pokemon from their friend's tradable tag that they're willing to have, and then you can do vice versa, and you will do that trade. So in a way, it's somewhat like a wonder trade in the main series games, in the sense that it's a bit of a wider range, but thankfully, I think it's a bit more condensed. Obviously, you can talk to each other and kind of specify what you want. If you're lucky, friends, the next trade will be lucky, even if it's remote. That's a huge deal for us who, been interacting for years globally in the community, and the remote trade does not count as a special trade regardless of the Pokemon that were traded remotely. So even if you swap, for example, shiny Kyurems with each other, that doesn't take away from your special trade for the day. So this is in addition to everything, which I think is quality as the wind gets up. And before we do get going on the final day of the Welcome to Powder event with the Knackley chase, the following Pokemon cannot be remote traded. Pokemon caught within the last 30 days. Now that, I don't know how I feel about that, but it's a restriction they put in place, so maybe something that's older, but technically it's something you will have caught during the early stages of getting to Forever Friends, but you can hold off on your trade if you want to. And then it's the usual stuff. Previously traded Pokemon, Shadow, Mythical Pokemon, Pokemon currently in gyms and power spots, Pokemon currently set as your buddy, Mega Active Pokemon, Fused Pokemon, Crown, Sword and Shield, Zacian, Sound Center, and Pokemon placed in playgrounds, the AR playgrounds that nobody interacts with at all. A few other bits, we talked about the weekly challenges. You can group together and get additional XP and Stardust, but they will give you 7 extra hearts, which is brilliant. And the additional bonus or additional update is that the max number of friends on the friends list, hallelujah, is going to be increased from 450 up to 650 in increments of 50 over the next couple of weeks. So I've been able to add a few other people, and from December the 15th, there's going to be a timed research that's free for that week or 2 weeks, which will basically give you extra XP and encounter with Scatterbug and some other stuff. So there we go. What do you guys think of the Forever Friends updates? And I've got to be honest, this is a huge game changer. It means that there are people I've been lucky friends with for over 5 years, and I can finally work to do a lucky trade remotely with them, which is frankly epic. Hammering a bin. What it does mean is we can finally claim our reward. Thank you, Jerome, for pinging me and getting me added to this chat. We're going to try and race to get one of the first ever remote trades done that we can do. What has been going on in the world of Pokemon Go for you? Because today is the final day, or was the final day, of the Road to Paldia event, and we have the, whatever it's called. That's the name of the event. Honestly, I completely forgot what's happening, but it's starting on Thursday. I genuinely thought when I woke up this morning, it's starting today, but it's not. Now, what's been happening on my side of things? Well, after the Community Day wrap-up, we did the 3 special trades you were able to do on the Sunday evening, and we picked up a lucky Hundo background Kyurem from my fiancée Marta, which is insane. So I think, since it's got the black background, we're going to fuse that to a white background Zekrom and get ourselves, luckily we've got plenty of background Zekrom, fuse the backgrounds. This should hopefully work. I think I've gotten the right way around. Is only our second Hundo Kyurem, because of course we got the Shundo from Kiwi Steve way back in February of this year, and there is the background, I believe. And literally yesterday we picked up a Hundo Kyurem from a raid that I remoted into in Wembley. So that's awesome. And I think we're going to put that one to white Kyurem. We won't bother using a background one. There should be a non-background one. My only remaining non-backgrounder, but 2 Hundo Fusion Kyurems to kick things off. Why the hell not? Rather fantastic to add those to the collection. What we're going to do for today's video is I just want to go around and collect the last remaining couple of research tasks for Nacli. Still not had a Hundo of it, not been out really too much to grind for it as much as I would like to. Let's get the Go++ on, and we will go and do some raids as well. With the event wrapping up, how has that Nacli chase been going? How has the shiny boost for Bagon and Larvitar been for you? Because I don't think I've checked enough to warrant getting a shiny for them. Completely random sidebar. I was chatting about this with JT months ago. This is the first ever XXL Stonjourner I've ever seen in playing the game. It's been out for over a year, and finally we have an XXL of it, so that's rather snazzy. Do we have any good tasks? Not really, but a little update on the level 78 grind. We are nearly done with the Buddy Hearts, nearly done with the field research task. That kilometers is going to take a little bit more time, I think. What are you thinking about the Forever Friends? We also have a couple of other events. By the time this video goes out, the Grookey Community Day for January will have been announced, which is as awesome. We've got Gen 8 starters coming in January with Triple Catch Dust, I believe it is. And you may have seen the Celestials Research Day that's happening on December the 20th, one day before the Winter Equinox, I believe, on the shortest day of the year, or the longest day of the year, depending on if you're in the land down under. Boosted shinies for Solrock and Lunatone. I know Cruise Ship will be going absolutely wild for the Lunatone. By the way, it's just a couple of things I'd like to add into this video. First of all, is definitely go and drop a download to episode 252 of the Incensed podcast that became available on the Sunday. I forgot to put it in the Comday video. Go and drop it a download, folks. As always, every Sunday, the Incensed podcast is just me, Marsful27, and Ian Waterfall. There's a fresh episode for you to enjoy. But while I'm waiting for people to jump into my shadow Heatran, I would love to say I can confirm, because I've had a few people ask, we've chatted about it loosely, but I'd like to confirm I will be in LA, Los Angeles, once again, 3rd year in a row, for the tour event in February. And I'm looking forward to seeing so many of you out there at the Rose Bowl and the golf course and the city experience once again. I cannot wait. It's going to be epic. And we're chasing, obviously, those Xerneas and Yveltal raids, people. And the Shadow Heatran is done. Quick shout out to Del Hazard X on the Patreon squad. Dwayne, good friend, he picked up, that is awful, 2075, but he picked up a 2140 something, it was like a 98 shiny Shadow. Congrats, bro, on that epic catch. I'm sure we'll be reading that out tonight on episode 253's recording for the podcast, but not needing the Shadow shiny, I'm personally going for decent IVs on this one, or a purified Shundo, of course, but this one's not going to be it. It's not Shadow shiny either, so this is, honestly, the amount of legendaries I've raided, caught, and instantly binned. We do have to tick off all of the tasks for berries and whatnot. While I'm faffing around catching this Shadow legendary, I would like to ask you guys, what do you think of the Winter Holidays Part 1 event that got announced recently? We have Costume Sudowoodo and Charger Bug come in as part of part 1. I was not expecting that, to be honest. I was thinking they'd hold those off to part 2. So I wonder what part 2 will bring, because usually part 2 is better. That Sudowoodo costume, he's freaking epic, and the Charge Bug is epic. Good to see they're going to be available in the wild, but there'll also be 3-star raid bosses. So if you want to raid for those, you can do. Thank you, Heatran. Perfect timing, because we have 3 quests to check. So just confirming 2075, 2-star, barely scraping the raid floor. In the bin it goes. But we do have 1 check for a bag on that's not a hundo. This is, oh dear God, it's a trap inch. Into the stack you go, my friend. And this is the Knackley of 404 error. I've used all my silver pineapples on Kyurems and Knackleys in the last week. Oh my God, the news dropped, people. This is the earliest we've ever seen a GOFest announcement. GOFest 2026 confirmed. You probably saw the leaks and things over the last couple of weeks and months, but confirming dates. We've got Tokyo, May the 29th to June the 1st, Chicago for the 10th anniversary, returning to Chicago. That's freaking awesome. June the 5th, the 7th, and Copenhagen from the 12th to the 14th of June. So very much a back-to-back triple header once again, and probably the global might likely be the end of June once again. So heavy on the travel, but I am definitely going to try and get myself to a couple of those if I can do. Saving the date, start looking at those travel plans if you're interested in doing them. Tokyo at Bay Area. Tokyo, you're getting some insanely good stuff there. Ticketed citywide gameplay will begin the start of the week, Monday, May the 25th. They get a week. Chicago back at Grant Park. That is also, I know Ian's going to be very, very happy with that one. Citywide gameplay for June the 4th. Copenhagen at Fallon Parken. Again, we get the citywide gameplay on June the 11th, the day before it all kicks off. That is freaking awesome. And I'm so pleased to see they're getting into the habit of announcing these big events early. So are you in 2026 going to be attempting to get to one of these GOFests, or maybe 2? I'm not sure Japan can happen, honestly, with everything happening, unfortunately, but I'd love to try for Chicago and Copenhagen. Well, it is a very windy day, I gotta say, but we jumped into a Dondozo, and it's been so long since raiding Dondozo, actually, I don't remember the hundo. It could be shiny, but it is not, unfortunately, in its rainy boost. But I realised while we were chatting and blithering on for freaking ever about the friendship increase stuff for Forever Friends, I forgot to actually demonstrate what it looks like in the friends list, so we're going to quickly do that now. This is terrible. Check a couple of quests. One is a Knackley. Oh, 410. There's another Goku Bad 98, I believe. We're going to use Jeroen as an example. So you can see here on the tab, it shows remote trade there is grayed out. You can remotely trade and view the Pokemon your friend has marked with a remote trade tag once you become Forever Friends. And confirming here, we've got to play together 81 days more to get to Forever Friends, but obviously we can interact every single day, but only once a week do you get the weekly challenges on the Tuesday. So when we get that, it adds 7 extra hearts or points, or reduces it in whichever way you want to view it. It reduces the days remaining by an extra 7, so that's why we're at 81 rather than 89. You can see the bonuses there. Unlock a remote trade once you get the friendship level points, and it's only available once per time, as we confirmed. Stardust discount for the trades, which is great, and the attack boost is now up to 4 stars. We've got to say, as always, a big thanks to everyone who's a part of the Patreon squad supporting this channel and the content that goes up on it over the last 6 and a bit years. I know we keep prattling on about the number, but it's been a long time, and thank you each and every one of you who's been supporting. Some of you, welcome. It's been very recent that we've seen you come on board. Thank you so much. And some of you have been with me from pretty much right at the very beginning, which is extraordinary. So each and every one of you are critical, because LA would not be a possibility were it not for your awesome support and all the stuff we've done this year and pushing the content that much further. And every one of you who hit that subscribe button, thank you very much for supporting the channel. There may have been no shiny joy today, and to be honest, it's Bagon and Larvitar. We've got plenty of them. Shame not to pick them up from this event, but let me know in the comments below, did you have any luck with the green Yoshi or the Larvitar? What we will do though, because we need some new content, is looking at the recent hundos we've got. I hatched this 12-kilometer egg right at the very beginning of December and actually picked it up, God, right in the middle of November, to be honest. It's a Hundo Varoom. Obviously, it's our very first one, so I'm going to get the old Rivaroom. Finally, completing that Dex family. There's a bunch of stuff I've been meaning to power up and evolve and add exclusive moves to. I kind of sit on them and then never put them in a video. But there we go. It's finally good to add that Gen 9 Pokemon into ZX. And anybody who's played the Scarlet and Violet games knows how much of a part this plays with whatever the version of Team Rocket it is. But there we go. Hundo Reverum it should be. I don't know why it's saying Varoom. It's a bit of a longer name, but I'm not sure I'll be able to put it in. We're going to have to go with that because that's all the character space we've got. But lovely to have that added as a Hundo. 3337, we still don't have the XL Candy for it, but we're getting close on that front. And just for the sake of it, I'm going to evolve. I picked up this Hundo actually on the 11th of November. Let's just see if we can get ourselves the triple segmenter, shall we? It was a nest in Walpole for the longest time. That's something. I don't think it is. I think it's a 2-segmenter, but that's all right. Included in the well-armed event, we do have the Dynamax debuts of Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, and apparently they have a shiny boost on them. I'm personally not too fussed by those sorts of D-Max entries, shall we say. We'll go and do a few of them on Thursday, but I will say if you enjoyed this video, this very weird news-focused video, new feature video, and a little bit of event gameplay, hit that subscribe button down below, and do stick with me for future content where we'll be checking out new Pokemon dexes, more shiny hunts, and we've got a G-Max battle day at the end of the week. And make sure you check out some of the videos available here on the screen as well. If you need some bits and pieces shiny wise or some event tips, definitely stick around. But I hope to see you all in the next one, peeps. Do take care.